Welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday, early afternoon. Early afternoon, it still is. You obviously see this in sort of like the late afternoon, early evening. I'll get out before the Champions League game because I do want to watch that. And, you know, I want you to be able to watch it as well. I think Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. You want to talk about giants going at it? Those are two giants. Obviously, today I have already released two videos. One of them being the episode 4 in the career mode series. So if you missed that, go back, have a little watch. As well as that, I've also done the loan roundup. I'm actually recording this not long after it's been uploaded to give you an idea. So we did loan roundup, and as well as that, giving you some transfer update on one of the youngsters who's out on loan, potentially going up a couple of leagues for another move. So really exciting stuff. In this video, though, we're talking a little bit about some interesting reports out of Portugal around some of our scouts being at the Porto Sporting Lisbon game at the weekend. As well as that, we're going to talk a little bit about Ricardo Calafiori and a little bit around sort of the PSR situation for Spurs looking at players that we want to sign. So give you a bit of an update on that as well. So plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. Just want to say though, if you're new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let me just start, I think, with the scouting situation. Now, I know I probably haven't set this up in terms of the thumbnail, but just because it's the first thing that I saw, I'll talk about this first. So, it came from Record Portugal, who said that Tottenham sent a scout to watch Sunday's match between Porto and Sporting Lisbon. So, I thought, oh, okay, well, that's something, or it could be nothing. Let me check on the two teams and who played. And I was looking at the Porto team, and I didn't see anyone that I thought Spurs would be in for, you know. I was looking at the Lisbon team, and I think there's more players that Spurs would be interested in. To give you an idea, we've been interested in Goncalo Inacio, we've been interested in Heung-Min, Pedro Goncalves, obviously Marcus Edwards. The game finished 2-2, and Victor Gyökeres came off the bench and scored 2 in the 87th and 88th minute to level it up. And then Marcus Edwards came off the bench as well, but got a straight red. Don't actually know what for. I haven't watched the highlights. I'm not that fussed about watching the highlights either, if I'm honest. But I was looking at it, I thought, well, there are some players. I mean, Diamande's a player of interest for certain Premier League clubs. I thought there's some players in there, that Lisbon team. You think Goncalves, Inacio, Heung-Min, Diamande, I mean, Gyökeres as well, obviously, and Edwards. You know, you're looking at a good 6-7 players probably that Spurs have sort of kept an eye on in that game. I don't really think Spurs will get anyone from Lisbon. I think if I was predicting it, I think Inacio probably goes to Liverpool for some reason. Heung-Min's, I'm not too sure that will be in there for him. Edwards, I think, might end up at a Crystal Palace-esque team, especially if they move on from the Elise Eze of the world, which I think would be a really good move for him, by the way, because I'm actually enjoying watching Crystal Palace play football, which you haven't been able to say for a little while. So there is that. Right, moving on. I want to talk about the PSR side of things. So it came from the Athletic, who said that Tottenham are attentive to other clubs who may have PSR issues this summer. Conor Gallagher and Jacob Ramsey are both potential targets. Now, they obviously are changing this PSR situation to the salary cap extravaganza, I'm going to call it, of the season. I think it's of the 25-26 season. So Spurs probably want to fill their boots this summer whilst financial fair play PSR is still a thing. I genuinely think they might actually try and fill their boots ahead of the change. I think had this been a season ago or 2 seasons ago, Jacob Ramsey, I'm like, oh, that's a really exciting youngster. I mean, he doesn't really start in Aston Villa's team, you know. I will apologise. There are some building works across the road, so if you do hear it, I will try and clear out the background noise. But if you do hear it, I do apologise. But I don't see how either one of those players really takes us to another level. Do they make our midfield room potentially a bit better? Yeah, you could say that. But what I would say is on those two, I think we could be looking elsewhere better and probably cheaper, if I'm honest, because I think both those players, you know, I think Gallagher might be 30-35 million, but you've got to think of all the agent fees, the contract you're going to have to give him. He wants about 150 grand a week, but if you go for the Edison Koopmeiners route, potentially maybe there's more on the front end of things with the transfer, but I think the wages and things like that actually works out to being either the same or even maybe a little bit cheaper in terms of a deal. So there is that. Right, I want to talk about Ricardo Calafiori. Look at that. Look at that name. So it came from Tutto Juve, and actually there's been some Italian reports on this. And the backstory first, we know of the fact that Juve have had interest in Calafiori for a little while, like they have Coop Miners, and everyone kind of thought, well, that's done deal. You know, Calafiori will move to Juve. You know, they might move on from Bremer and get some money into the club potentially, because obviously Calafiori would probably be about half the price of a Bremer. Well, it came from obviously to Juve said that Tottenham are favourites to sign Bologna defender Riccardo Calafiori this summer, which I think is fascinating because I always thought Spurs would go the route of Tosin Adarabioyo or Lloyd Kelly, right? Where the player is free, the player is proven, he's athletic, defends in space, that all those things that Spurs look at for their centre backs. Calafiori is, you know, decently enough athletic wise. You know, he's good at playing from the back. He can play the left back position as well as left centre back. But obviously, he's going to cost 25 million or so. It's not to say that he's not better or he's worse than a Kelly or a Darabio or an Osho, because I know the Luton player that we've been linked to as well. Not to say that he's better or worse than him. And what I'm saying is when you're trying to look at summer where Spurs are going to be spending, you know, probably marquee money on marquee positions, you know, like a number 6, like a left wing potentially, or a striker, you think, right, if they do that, they're more than likely going to go for Lloyd Kelly or Tosin Adarabioyo on a free in the summer, which I still kind of think Spurs will do. I don't think they'll go the Calafiori route. Is that the right way to do it? I don't know. I think Calafiori is an exciting player. I think Spurs may want to. I mean, Spurs have had success from the Serie A, and they've had a lot of success from the Serie A. You know, Adogi, Vicario, Bentancur, Kulusevski. Let's just see what we go. Let's see what we do with Radu Dragujin. But they've had some success, and you know, there's no reason why he wouldn't be a success. And if it's a Paratici, you know, signing, we normally know from the Serie A that's a good signing. But I just think, you know, as much as we're going to have outgoings that are going to raise, you know, 50, 60, 70 million pounds, maybe more depending on who leaves, I think they're also going to be looking at, well, if we're going to spend big at 6, we're going to spend big on getting a striker that we need this summer, be it a Solanke, a Tony, a Jimenez, whoever it may be. You know, a 6 is going to cost you 40, 50, something, maybe even 60, something in that realm. Then they would probably go free at centre back. And I'm, again, not to say it's the right thing. I'm just trying to get in the headspace of what Spurs might do, and that's what I think they might do. But we shall see. I'm excited by that Calafiori report. I really am. I think he's an exciting player who can offer us a lot, but, you know, I'm just trying to get in the headspace what we would do. That's all. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about, obviously, that PSR situation with the Gallagher and Ramsey report, the Italian report surrounding Spurs potentially being favourite signer Calafiori, as well as that, obviously, your thoughts and feelings about Spurs scouting potential Portuguese league players. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.